क्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं ह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये. Fellow travelers on the path of devotion, let's do Roop Dhyan. Let's meditate lovingly on Sri Radha and Krishna as we chant Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. Please repeat after me, sing after me. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo Giridhar Giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo 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 Giridhar Giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala. Bhajo Giridhar गोविंद गोपाला बोलिए
गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला
भजो मुरली मनोहर नंद लाला
भजो गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
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 भजो गिरिधर गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
भजो 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 गिरिधर गोविंद गोपाला
बोलिए वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की Devotional listeners, now I request your full attention. My talk tonight is a continuation of my last talk, which was last Sunday. It was disclosed in the first lecture that sadhana bhakti is of two types, Vadhi and Raganuga. Vadhi bhakti is Shastre Naiva Shastrasya. It is ruled by scriptures. The scriptures say that I must worship God in this particular way, so I will do it. Vadhi bhakti is also motivated by desire for liberation, and it is driven by fear of hell. Because he wishes to attain liberation, he practices devotion. Because he is afraid of going to hell after death, so he practices devotion. Vadhi bhakti. Raganuga bhakti, on the other hand, is ruled by spontaneous love and a very strong desire to lovingly serve Sri Radha and Krishna. In the last talk, I also spoke about Rupa Goswami's Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu. This is a very important scripture on the topic of devotion, highly recommended by Jagadguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj. In Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, Rupa Goswami, who is a foremost disciple of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, tells us in very few words a very important link in devotion. He says, Adau Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangoth Bhajana Kriya Tato Nartha Nivrittisya Tato Nishtha Ruchis Tata Atha Saktis. He says, first of all, in the beginning, Adau Shraddha, you must have Shraddha, have faith. And then number two, you approach a guru. Sadhu Sang, you associate with a guru. Make sure you offer flowers of Shraddha or faith at his lotus feet. Going to a guru without faith is extremely detrimental to our spiritual health, very injurious to our spiritual health. So first Shraddha, first faith, then approach the saint. Then go to the guru. Then bhajana kriya. The guru will teach you, says Rupa Goswami, the guru will teach you how to practice devotion, how to do bhajan kriya, how to do sadhana. And then next step is anartha nivritti. Your anartha, the faults that are within, they will start to reduce and they will ultimately disappear. Anarth, these are of four types, as was disclosed last time. Sukrit Jat, Dushkrit Jat, Aparadh Jat, and Bhakti Jat. There are many different faults and shortcomings within us. And through the practice of devotion as taught by the Guru, we start to reduce these anarth, these faults, and ultimately they disappear altogether. Then what happens? Then Ruchi appears on the horizon of the heart. Ruchi, interest. An interest in loving Krishna. That interest develops. And then after that, next step is asakti. Love for Sri Krishna is formed in the heart. That latent, dormant love, it wakes up, it awakens, all with the grace of the Guru, who teaches one how to practice devotion, how to connect the mind to Sri Radha and Krishna. So in ruchi, in interest, there's both the mind and the intellect. But then when asakti, or love for Sri Krishna, is formed, then the buddhi, the intellect, disappears and now only the mind. As Jagatguru Sri Kripaluji Maharaj, our beloved Sri Maharaj Ji, says in one of his compositions, जब समझ प्रेम में डूब गई तब क्या होगा समझाने से. There comes a point when samajh prem mein doob gayi. The intellect drowns in love. So now, when love is formed, the intellect is no longer active. The intellect is now suppressed. It's drowned in love. Now only the mind, only the heart in asakti. And then bhav bhakti. The stage of bhav bhakti is reached. I must caution you, many think that bhav bhakti means when someone goes into bhav. When an aspiring devotee starts crying a little bit for God, or when he or she starts trembling a little bit in love for God with the grace of the Guru, people may say, oh, you know what? He's gone into bhav bhakti. That's not bhav bhakti. That is just the grace of God and Guru. One moment we are in bhav, next moment we are in tav. One moment we look so devotional. Oh, she's like Mirabai. Next moment she's getting angry. She's speaking very cruel words. That's not bhav bhakti. That was just, we were experiencing the grace of God and Guru, and wonderful sanskars came to the forefront, and we had a couple of tears in the eyes. And the moment that the thought comes, oh, I'm really a good devotee, there's a dry period, there's a dry spell. We've all experienced it, haven't we? Bhav bhakti is totally different. It's a stage of bhakti, stage of devotion. But now we think, how can I be sure that I haven't reached it? And have I reached it? Have I reached that stage? We may think we have reached it. So it's good to know what Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu about the signs and indications, the anubhav of bhav bhakti. He says, Kshantiravvyartha kalatvam viraktirmana shunyata asha bandha samutkantha nam gane sadaruchi. Some of the anubhav. Let's start with some of them. There are 9 all in all. First of all, he says there is kshanti. Look out for kshanti. Not to be confused with the word shanti, which means peace. This is kshanti, K-S-H-A-N-T-I, if you will. Kshanti, meaning tolerance. Tolerance? I'm tolerant. I am tolerant. I've reached bhav bhakti. We ask our intellect, Buddhi Devi, am I tolerant? Do I have kshanti? And our intellect is the biggest fan we have. The intellect says, but of course, you are very tolerant. We are tolerant when no one is saying something to us. We're sitting down and watching TV at home. I'm very tolerant when I'm watching TV at home. Because no one is saying anything. No one is speaking. No one's talking to me. No one is insulting me. So I'm not getting angry. That doesn't prove my tolerance. So what is tolerance? Kshobha hetavapi prapte kshanti rakshu bhitatmata. Rupa Goswami Ji says, tolerance is when there is a cause for anger and you don't get angry. When there's a reason to get tense and upset, you don't become tense. You don't get tense. You don't get upset. You remain calm. There's a reason for anger, but there's no anger. You're calm. Your mind is very calm. That is Kshanti. King Parikshit had this. Parikshit is the grandson of Arjun. Arjun's son Abhimanyu, who was killed at a very young age during the battle of Mahabharat. At that time, his wife Uttara, very young girl, she was expecting a child. And that child was given protection within his mother's womb by Sri Krishna himself. When he was born, his eyes were wide open and he looked all around. He was looking for Lord Krishna, whom he had seen in his mother's womb. And he was thinking, where is that beautiful Lord that I had seen? I don't see him anywhere. Because he was examining his surroundings, he was doing parikshan, the name Parikshit was given to him. He was a king. Parikshit, the king, was part of a hunting expedition. He was with his followers, his ministers, and he became separated from them. He was trying to find his way out of the jungle. And in the meantime, he became extremely thirsty. But he was very fortunate to come upon a hermitage, and there was a holy man, a sage, a rishi, sitting in meditation. The king said, "Holy sir, may I have some water?" The rishi did not hear him. He didn't hear the king because he was in samadhi. Again, the king asked for water, and again he asked, but he got no response. And he was very thirsty, and by this time very hungry as well. So he became annoyed. He saw a dead snake laying on the ground. He picked it up with the corner of his bow and placed it around the neck of the meditating sage. In other words, you have insulted me. I'm a king, don't you know? And you're not offering me water. I'm asking you again and again. I don't see any water anywhere. And so I am going to insult you. So he put a dead snake around the sage's neck. When the sage's son came home from bathing in the Gangaji, he saw that his father had been disrespected in this manner. He became furious. He went into samadhi and he determined who the culprit was. And he pronounced a terrible curse on Parikshit. You will be bitten by a snake. Not just any snake. You'll be bitten by the king of serpents, Takshak, and you will die within 7 days. When the sage came out of his meditation, his son told him what had happened. And the sage was extremely sad to hear what had transpired. He was not upset by what Parikshit had done. He was upset by what his son had done. He said, "Son, you've made a huge mistake. This is a blunder. The king is a very good king. King Parikshit is a good king. He gives us protection so that we may meditate in peace, so that we may perform our austerities in peace. He takes care of us. He had a momentary lapse of judgment. He does not deserve your wrath. Son, you must go immediately and ask him for forgiveness and tell him that he's going to die within 7 days." So the sage's son went to Parikshit, and when Parikshit heard what had happened, about the curse that was put on him, he merely smiled. He did not get angry. He did not become sad. There was every reason for him to get angry. There was every reason for him to be devastated. But he was calm. He was the same as before. He thought, I have only 1 week left. And now I must listen to the divine teachings of scriptures. So he gathered many saints and ascetics around, and then he desired a guru. So Shukdev Paramhans came out of nowhere. Because as you know, when the disciple is ready, the guru appears. He desired a guru, and a guru was provided for him. Shukdev Paramhans came all of a sudden and recited the most beautiful scripture, the greatest of all scriptures, the Bhagavad Mahapuran, for the benefit of King Parikshit. So King Parikshit was tolerant. There's another personality who comes to mind, and his name is Bharat. He was a king. He ruled over the earth. And he became very, very detached from the world of desires. So he gave up his kingdom, he gave up his wealth, his name and fame, everything. And bhiksha matan naripure shwapakamapi vandane. He would go beg in front of the palace of the kings who were previously his enemies. He had no problem begging. He would go to their doorstep and he would say, Bhiksham Dehi. I'm begging for alms. These were his enemies, and he's begging for alms. Such humility and such tolerance. So in Bhav Bhakti, one develops this kshanti. Secondly, avyartha kalatvam. At Bhav Bhakti stage, the devotee is not willing to waste even a moment of his valuable time. In Sadhana Bhakti, he recites like a parrot, as we all do. Kshan bhangur jeevan jani mana, kshan hu jani vyarth gamaiye ju. So many times our beloved Gurudev cautioned us, don't utter these words like parrots. Develop a feeling inside and utter these words with lots of feeling. In Bhav Bhakti stage, we will no longer utter these words. We will internalize these words. We will not be able to tolerate even one moment wasted. We will not be able to waste a single moment of our precious time. A Bhav Bhakt, someone who is in Bhav Bhakti stage, if someone comes to him and starts talking about worldly affairs, how does he feel? He feels like we would feel if someone were to force dirt and garbage down our throat. How would we feel if someone were to come and just give us dirt, put dirt in our mouth forcibly and say, you have to swallow it. And here's garbage, I'm going to push it down your throat. How would we feel? Jagat Guru Shri Kripaluji Maharaj, our beloved Shri Maharaj says, that's how someone at Bhav Bhakti stage feels when someone comes and starts talking about worldly affairs. He cannot tolerate it. He has no interest in it. Avyartha kalatvam. Kshantim avyartha kalatvam. Third one is virakti. Viraktir, then mana shunyata. Number 3 is virakti, detachment. He feels very detached. He's living in the world doesn't disappear for him, but although he lives in the world, but he does not allow the world to live inside of him. He's like a lotus flower growing in a pond. The lotus flower grows in the pond, but the water of the pond, it doesn't absorb. The leaves, the flower petals, they do not allow the water to go inside. The water drops just move on top of the flower petal. They don't get absorbed. So the devotee does not allow the world to become absorbed in his mind, although he lives in the world. He may be living in luxury. Our Hindu history is filled with references, with examples of kings, rajas, and maharajas. They lived in luxury, but they were completely detached from the world. Just 500 years ago, a very great devotee lived, and his name was Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He lived during Gauranga Mahaprabhu's time, and one day Gauranga Mahaprabhu said to his intimate devotees, "Oh, Pundarik has come. Do you know Pundarik has come to Nadia, Navadvip? I'm going to go see him." The devotees did not know who Pundarik was, but they surmised that he would be he must be a great devotee, because our Gurudev, who is none other than Shri Krishna himself, he wishes to see Pundarik. He wants to have Pundarik's darshan. Oh, how great Pundarik must be. He must be such a great devotee. They asked, "May we come along?" Yes, yes. So they all went with Mahaprabhuji. And Pundarik Vidyanidhi was living in the lap of luxury. He was wearing clothes made of satin and silk. There were so many maids and servants serving him, catering to every demand of his. He was wearing so much gold, so much jewelry. And it didn't look like he was devoted. One of the devotees by the name Gadadhar became extremely confused. He started thinking, this is all wrong. Ye sab galat hai. Ye kya ho raha hai? What is this? My Gurudev, Mahaprabhuji, he is so anxious to see this man, this worldly man. And Mahaprabhuji went very anxiously, ran towards Pundarik and embraced him for a long, long time. And both of them cried. Gadadhar went out of his mind. This is all wrong. What is wrong with Mahaprabhuji? What is wrong with my Gurudev? He's never made this mistake before. In due course of time, they all went back to the ashram, and Gauranga Mahaprabhu summoned Gadadhar and said, "Gadadhar, you go away from me and never come back." This was most unexpected. Gadadhar asked, "But Maharaji, what have I done? What is my mistake?" "Your mistake? You don't know? What did you think when you went to Pundarik? Tell me what you were thinking." "I know what you were thinking. You have insulted him. He's a great devotee of God, and you have insulted him. What you thought was that he is a worldly man because he is surrounded by luxury. But what have I taught you? What have you learned from me, Gadadhar? Where does detachment live? Where does it live? Haven't you learned? Don't you know that it lives in the mind and not in the body? Detachment is in the mind, not in the body, Gadadhar." Gadadhar cried and said, "Maharaji, I cannot live without you. I cannot leave you." "Leave me?" "Gadadhar, you have already left me. The moment you thought that I was wrong, that is the moment you left me. I do not wish to see you again. Out of here. Get out." The very gentle Mahaprabhuji became so strict because he cannot tolerate the insult, that is, his devotee being insulted. "Sunu Suresh Raghunath Subhau Nij aparadh risahi na kahu Jo aparadh bhagat kar karahi Ram rosh pavak so jarahi." Ramcharitmanas. The Lord forgives those who offend him. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself. Bhitar Sham Gaur Baharate. Inwardly he is Sri Krishna, the dark Krishna. Outwardly he is a fair complexioned Radha. So the Lord cannot tolerate, while he tolerates and forgives those who offend him, but he is not willing to forgive those who offend his pure devotees. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu would not forgive Gadadhar. But he did say to Gadadhar, "You go to Pundarik, and if he forgives you, then I shall forgive you." Pundarik Rather, Gadadhar went to Pundarik Vidyanidhi, begged for forgiveness, he was forgiven, then he came back to Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who accepted him. So detachment is within. It's nothing external, it's all internal. However, for aspiring devotees, for all of us who are in sadhana bhakti, it is dangerous for us to surround ourselves with luxury and with so many material things. Because we are not at bhav bhakti stage, what to speak of being God realized. Chandan vishvyape nahi, lipate rahat bhujang. Sant Rahim has said that the sandal tree is very special. Poisonous, venomous snakes make that tree their home, but the tree is not at all affected by the poison. But every tree is not Chandan tree. We are not spiritually so advanced that we can be living in luxury and not be affected by it. We are affected by the clothes we wear. We wear fancy clothes and we feel really good. We feel very high and mighty. I look beautiful. We wear simple clothes and Radhe Shami, then we start feeling a little humble, devotional. We've all experienced it. We eat fancy food and we feel different. We feel salad, we feel different. We are different with people who want to talk to us about politics and movies, and we are different. We feel differently when we are with aspiring devotees, with sadhaks. But advanced devotees are not affected. They remain as they are. They're not adversely affected, but we are sadhaks. We are in sadhana bhakti stage, so we are going to be affected. But we're talking about bhav bhakti, the next stage. So in bhav bhakti, the devotee feels very detached. I mean, he eats food. He may be eating a rasgulla. Two people are eating a rasgulla. And we look at them. Both of them are really enjoying the rasgulla. Both of them, their eyes are wide open and they look very happy. Two worldly people eating rasgullas. No. One is a worldly man who is very happy eating the rasgulla, the material rasgulla. He's tasting the sweetness of the sugar. He's tasting the ingredients of that rasgulla, and he's really enjoying that taste. The other man is tasting the grace of Sri Krishna. He is thinking, this is Sri Krishna's prasad, and I am fortunate to be receiving it. Both of them seem to be enjoying the rasgulla in the same way, but there is a world of difference. One is very attached to the rasgulla, the other is attached to Sri Krishna, and he's eating the prasad. Uddhav ji says to Sri Krishna, Tvayopabhukta sraggandha vaso lankara charchitah uchishta bhojino dasastava mayam jayemahi. Bhagavad Mahapuran. O Krishna, I will eat the food that you have eaten. I will eat the food remnants. I will wear the clothes that you have worn. I will wear the ornaments that you have worn. I will use the itra, the fragrance that has been used by you. And Maharaj, by using these prasadis of yours, I shall challenge your Maya. I shall say to Maya, Maya, you cannot do anything to me because I am protected by my Lord's prasadis. How much we value the prasadis given to us by our dearest Gurudev. When he used to give us these prasadis, how good we felt. And now we look at them and they have increased in value so much. We always valued them, but they are now much more valuable. They're infinitely more valuable now. And if Sri Maharaj Ji gave an article of clothing as prasadi, and if someone receiving that started touching the cloth or looking at the color, Sri Maharaj Ji would say, what are you looking at? Kya dekh rahe ho? Kapde ko? This is not an ordinary cloth. This is prasadi. This has been touched by the merciful divine hands. So don't look at the color, don't feel the cloth. It is invaluable. So the devotee wears clothes, wears ornaments, maybe using itra, but he is accepting them to be prasadis of his Lord. And he challenges Maya, you cannot harm me, because I am protected by prasadis of my Prabhu. He is detached from the world. The world is not going to disappear. Detachment doesn't mean that we throw away things of the world and then think, oh, I threw that away. I gave my beautiful Rolex away in a moment of detachment. I want it back. Will I get it back? I don't think he'll give it back. Maybe, let me try. Or just thinking about it, oh, I had a Rolex. Oh, I had a family I left behind. I'm living in Vrindavan. This is not detachment. So virakti, detachment, that is one of the signs and indications of bhav bhakti. Number 4, mana shunyata. There is no desire for receiving respect from others. Others should glorify me. Others should follow me. I should have a lot of followers. So I can say, you know what? I have 100,000 followers. How many do you have? Okay, they're not my followers. Like, I'm not a guru. They're not my disciples, but they're followers on Twitter. On multimedia. Social media, I should say. So there's no desire for that. There's no desire for respect, words of praise. Saints have said, Sammanam kalayati ghoragaralam nichapamanam sudham. Think of praise, words of praise, to be a very potent poison. It's very dangerous for you. Words of praise are extremely dangerous for us. And regard words of criticism as nectar, amrit. Nicha pamanam sudham. If someone insults you, then take his words to be like amrit, sudha, amrit, nectar. We do the opposite. But in bhav bhakti, there is no desire to be praised. And the devotee really feels very humble on the inside, very humble. When Tulsidas ji, who's not just at bhav bhakti, he's God realized, he has reached prema bhakti and beyond, but Tulsidas ji says, for everyone to read and for everyone to sing, Hari ha sab patitan ko tiko. My Lord, I am the greatest sinner. There is no sinner like me. There's no one worse than me. He is saying this in his scripture. In Vinay Patrika, Mo sam kaun kutil khal kami. Who would speak like that about himself? There is no one as crooked as myself. We may be crooked, but we don't want to be seen as crooked. You're a crook. Excuse me? Although I know I'm a crook, I'm crooked, but I don't want you to tell me that. How dare you tell me that? How dare you say that? Zuban khinch lenge, we say. I'll extract your tongue out of your mouth. But someone who is filled with devotion, he does not mind saying, he willingly says, I am the greatest of sinners. You have never seen a sinner like myself. Kutil, khal, I am a sinner. Kami, I am a very desirous of the world. I'm very attached to the world, my Lord. Vibhishan goes to Bhagwan Sri Ram. He takes shelter at Prabhu's lotus feet. And he just talks about himself. Who am I? I will tell you, my Lord. Nath dashanan kar mein bhrata nishichar janm. I am your archenemy Ravan's brother. So you may reject me. And I was born in a family of Nishichar, Rakshasas. I'm an Asur Maharaj. So there is no desire to hear words of praise. That is man shunyata. Gauranga Mahaprabhu says, even before you step on the path of devotion, this is what you should do. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sadahari. Be more humble than a blade of grass. When we put all our weight on a blade of grass, the blade of grass humbles itself even further. It does not retaliate. Be more humble than a blade of grass. And when we throw stones at a tree, the tree does not retaliate. It is very patient and very tolerant and very generous. It gives us sweet fruits to eat. The tree says, I'm here to give you fruits, whether you pluck the fruits or throw stones and then the fruits will fall down on the ground. No matter how you take the fruits, I'm here to give you fruits. Be more tolerant than a tree, says Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Amanina, do not desire respect, but give respect to one and all. Manadena. Sabahi man prad apu amani. Ramayana. So kshanti ravyarth kalatvam viraktir mana shunyata. Then asha bandha samutkantha namagane sada ruchi. Next, asha bandha. At Bhav Bhakti stage, there's never any thoughts of pessimism. There's no pessimistic thoughts. Oh, I will never reach my goal. Oh, Sri Krishna will never give me his grace. Oh, I'll never have his darshan. I'll never get his seva. Who am I kidding? It hasn't happened in countless lives. It's not going to happen now. No. There's always hope that, yes, I will get there because my Lord is merciful. My Lord is causelessly merciful. And sinners are especially dear to him. So I am very dear to him. He will give me his grace. He will. He will give me his grace. Right now, I'm not deserving of it. A devotee wrote to Sri Maharajji, Maharajji, please give me your grace. Kripa kijiye. Sri Maharajji wrote back, Sri Maharajji wrote very exquisitely. Let me see if I can remember the words. Yes. Tere karam mein kuch kami nahi. Tere karam mein kuch kami nahi, kareem hai tu. Tere karam mein kami nahi, kareem hai tu. Kusur mera hai, jhootha ummidwar hu main. Sri Maharajji wrote so exquisitely. He wrote the reply to this devotee who said, please grace me. Sri Maharajji says, but I'm already merciful. He never spoke in the first person, so he said, he's always merciful. Or the devotee is saying to the Lord, Tere karam mein, you're always merciful, my Lord. There is no lack in your grace. The fault is mine that I'm not deserving of your grace. Jhootha ummidwar hu main. So there's always hope. The devotee is always inspired, never despondent, never disappointed. No, my Lord is merciful, and I will get there. And utkantha, next. There's a great desire to reach the goal, great excitement to reach the goal. That is there. And then namagane sada ruchihi. He's always interested in chanting the name of God. He does not think, 2 hours? Come on. 2 whole hours. What are you people all about? 2 hours? No, he says 12 hours. Oh, they pass by like 12 minutes. Because the interest is there. I'm interested in taking the name of Radha and Krishna. Because with the Guru's grace, that love has sprouted in the heart. And now the plant is growing. Because when sadhana bhakti ripens, it becomes bhav bhakti. So now there's so much interest in taking the name of God that there are tears in the eyes, and he feels so happy when he's taking the name of God. And he always looks for an opportunity to chant the name of God, to chant the name of Hari. Shukdev Paramhans had such love for the name of Radha that Shri Radha Nama Matrena Murcha Shanmasiki Bhavet. Shukdev, who was previously the pet parrot of Radharani, or Swamini Radharani, he had so much love for her because she had given him so much love. He was pampered by her, and he loved her so much, and he had such great love for chanting her name that every time he would utter the name Radha, he would say Radhe, and he would go into a state of samadhi, prem samadhi, for 6 whole months. This is incredible. We hear it and we don't even know what that love is like. We don't have any idea. So much love that he would go into a state of samadhi for 6 months. Yes. So in Bhav Bhakti, that love increases to such an extent that the devotee is never satisfied, never thinking, oh, I've done enough chanting. He's ever ready. Does not ever get tired. Sri Maharaji has to tell us, look, when you get tired of chanting the name of Radha, then just do Smaran, do Rup Dhyan. But at that stage, we look forward to reaching that stage where we will never get tired chanting the name of God, because there is so much love for God. And then, asaktistad gunakhyane. There is always a great desire to hear the glories of Sri Radha and Krishna. There's always a great desire, excitement to hear their names, their attributes, their pastimes. And then the devotee says, tell me more. Tell me more. Speak about my beloved. Let me hear more and more and more. He does not feel tired. He doesn't feel bored. His love has grown to such an extent. He has become so pure of heart that now God, Sri Radha and Krishna, become very attractive to him. And he has this deep interest in knowing. Like earlier, he was different. We are different in sadhana bhakti. When we get to bhav bhakti, we will be different. Rup Goswami promises us that. Let's say 2 people are talking. One says to the other, did you hear about so-and-so's son? The other says, no, what do you mean? Oh, you know that so-and-so? Yeah, I know so-and-so. His son. I didn't hear anything. What? Well, no, I mean, it's nothing really. Forget it. Forget I ever said anything. Tell me, what about so-and-so's son? No, I mean, really, I shouldn't have said anything. You're driving me crazy. Tell me about so-and-so's son. I won't be able to sleep at night, and you'll be responsible. Tell me. Tell me now. You're not telling me? I'm going to guess. You know, I always thought that so-and-so's son was involved with drugs. Is he a drug dealer? Did he get caught? What? No. Did he run away with somebody's daughter? Is that what you're trying to tell me? What? No. No. Nothing like that. Then what? Tell me. No, what I was going to say is, so-and-so's son has started chanting Radhe Radhe. You know, he has started going to Radha Madhav Dham, which is 30 miles from his house. He goes there so frequently. That's what I was going to tell you. I mean, so-and-so's son has started taking devotion very seriously. Oh, that's it? That was your big news? Next time, don't tell me these things. So boring. I thought you were going to tell me something really interesting. something juicy. But now, the interest that he used to take in listening to worldly gossip, that is converted. Now he's gone through sadhana bhakti, he's come to bhav bhakti stage, and now he just wants to hear about Radha and Krishna. Tell me, tell me, tell me. He's so interested in that. And then, Pritis tadavastis thale. Rupa Goswami Ji says, at Bhav Bhakti stage, that devotee has great fondness for living in places where the Lord has lived, like Vrindavan. He loves to go there. He loves to live in holy places. Now we may think, well, I also go there. I have a room in the ashram. I have a great love for being there. And many people have retired and they live in Vrindavan. And Sri Maharaji used to say that they're living physically in Vrindavan, but they have left their minds in America. Or if they've come from India, maybe in Jabalpur or Mumbai or Delhi, they've left their minds back home, but they're living physically in Vrindavan. And that's a feather in their cap, you know. I live in Vrindavan now. And family members said, Pitaji and Mataji live in Vrindavan now. Yes, my parents live in Vrindavan. Dada, Dadi live in Vrindavan. They were so great. They lived in Vrindavan. But living in Vrindavan and having a fondness for going there means that when we go to Vrindavan, we perceive Shyam Sundar, or we try at least to perceive Shyam Sundar. Going to Vrindavan, buying a house there, building a house there, because it's a really nice place for NRIs. They have NRI greens, they have buildings, they cater to the to NRIs and to foreigners. It's very comfortable living in Vrindavan, and that's why I have a great fondness for living in Vrindavan. I can basically live in my room, in my apartment, and I can be watching TV all day long. And but in the evening, I just go to the Aarti, and then I eat whatever I feel like eating. Chaat today, kulfi tomorrow. Because these things, I mean, my goodness, I didn't know that Vrindavan had such wonderful food. So I have a great desire to live in Vrindavan. No, not like that. But I desire the Bhav Bhakti. At Bhav Bhakti stage, the devotee thinks, I want to live in Vrindavan because that is where my Lord lived. And when he lives in Vrindavan, he does not look at the material Vrindavan. When Sri Krishna descended to earth 5,000 years ago, he brought his divine Vrindavan. When we go to holy places and different places in Vrindavan, we think, well, this is the place where Bhagwan Sri Krishna performed the Maharaj. But I don't understand. There were so many gopis, thousands and thousands and thousands of gopis. How could they have fit in this small place? I don't understand. There's something wrong over here. No, but what's wrong is our mind and our intellect. They're both material. What we fail to understand is that Bhagwan Sri Krishna had brought his divine Vrindavan down to earth. And that divine Vrindavan would expand upon will and it would shrink upon will. If it wanted, it became very small. If it wanted, it became huge. So it could accommodate thousands and millions and zillions of gopis. So many gopis, so many. We go to Vrindavan and we hear some sensational news like, if you go and spend the night over there, yeah, you know what? It's like a ghost story. You won't come out alive because so many people went there and they lived there at night. They spent the night there and, you know, in the morning, dead body. Yeah. Don't go there. Don't spend the night. Don't do it on a dare. You will die. Sri Maharaji would take up these crazy notions and he would tell us the real truth. He would say, now think about it. As you know, Sri Maharaji would say, Akhir manushya ho, buddhi ka prayog karo. Maharaj Ji would say, आखिर तुम बुद्धि का बहुत घमंड रखते हो, बुद्धि का प्रयोग करो. He would say, you're so proud of your intellect. Now use your intellect over here. How is it possible for someone to go to a place in Vrindavan and then decide to stay there the night and not survive the night? Why? Because Radha and Krishna give darshan. They dance over there. And then if you're there, then you will look at them and you'll die. What? Even the monkeys leave that place at night. Even the monkeys know. No. Sri Maharaji said, now think about it. If you can see Radha and Krishna doing the Maharas, then you have divine eyes. Why would you die? And if you say, well, I didn't see Radha and Krishna, well, I don't have divine eyes, then how is it that you will see Radha and Krishna in the first place? Why would anyone die when they see Radha and Krishna? So when we go to Vrindavan, we hear all these fantastic, amazing stories, all exaggerations, not even half-truths, no truths. A devotee was saying to Maharaji, who was now living in Barsana, he said, Maharaji, then this happened, and there's a story in Barsana, and then there was this devotee, and he had a daughter, and then this, and Radha Rani came, and Maharaji is listening. Acha. Maharaji is listening, and we're all listening. Maharaji looks listening very carefully, taking a lot of interest. And then Maharaji at the end, Maharaji said, are you done? Yes, Maharaji. Maharaji said, when you die, people will make up similar stories about you too. Maharaji said, sab gapp hai, kuch nahi hai isme. There's no truth in this. It's all fantastic stories. The real thing is that Sri Krishna is in every particle of Vrindavan. I mean, he's everywhere, but especially when we go to Vrindavan, we have an opportunity to perceive the divinity in each and every dust particle of Vrindavan. And that is why we should have a great desire to live in Vrindavan and other holy places. So at Bhav Bhakti stage, there is a very, very strong desire to live in those places where the Lord has lived and where the Lord has performed pastimes. The devotee goes there and he tastes that dust and he thinks, oh, this is Mahaprasad. Mahaprasad. Because this is the same ground, this is the earth that my Lord has walked upon, and this is the same particles of the earth, particles of dirt that he has put in his mouth, and I am tasting this Mahaprasad. And he's able to visualize Sri Radha and Krishna here and there, beside the Yamuna. In Kusum Sarovar, he can visualize the gopis headed by Radharani picking flowers to make flower ornaments for Sri Radha and Krishna. He is lost in the thoughts of Sri Radha and Krishna. And so he has a great love for visiting such places, such holy places. Rupa Goswami says that these 9 are the signs and indications of Bhav Bhakti. And after Bhav Bhakti, when Bhav Bhakti becomes very ripe, because when Sadhana Bhakti becomes ripe, it becomes Bhav Bhakti. When Bhav Bhakti becomes very ripe, then God realization is given by the grace of the Guru. Then Prema Bhakti is next. And from Prema Bhakti, there are different levels of Siddha Bhakti. We've all heard from Sri Maharaj Ji that there are many levels of Siddha Bhakti, perfect devotion. But right before Prema Bhakti comes Bhav Bhakti. However, even if someone has reached the Bhav Bhakti stage, he has to be extremely careful, because if he commits Nama Parad, he will come crashing down. Bhavopya bhava mayati Krishna preshtha paradhata. If he commits an aparadh, an offense, Nama Parad, he will come crashing down back to Sadhana Bhakti. So he's not home free yet. In Sadhana Bhakti, he had to coax his mind and he had to scold his mind to think about Sri Krishna. The mind would have to be convinced. But in Bhav Bhakti, the mind does not resist. The mind says, yes, I want to think about him. And as Bhav Bhakti grows, the devotee's heart becomes more and more pure. But there's always a danger until Prema Bhakti is reached, because that is beyond the reach of Maya. And once you have reached beyond the area of Maya, then Maya can never torment you. Sada pashyanti surayah tad Vishnoho paramam padam. Once you attain that supreme stage, then you attain it forever, and Maya will have no jurisdiction over you. Maya poses no danger for you then. But even in Bhav Bhakti, there is danger. One must be very careful. I suspect that we are all in sadhana bhakti stage, but we can certainly keep Bhav Bhakti stage in mind and become inspired to reach that stage where the mind will no longer have to be convinced. It will take delight in thinking about Sri Radha Krishna. And all this will happen. We will reach that stage if we continue to have faith in our Guru. And if we continue, and having faith in the Guru means continuing to do the sadhana as he has taught us, continuing to getting to know his philosophy more and more, and repeating that philosophy in the mind again and again. Avritti rasakridupadeshat, the scriptures say, again and again you must read, you must learn, you must hear again and again. So we can reach that stage only if we continue to remain surrendered, and if we continue to practice sadhana. Then Bhav Bhakti is a possibility, very strong. It is a must. It will happen one day. Sri Maharaj Ji promises us that. But it's never dependent only on God and Guru. It's a half and half. It's a 50-50 relationship, isn't it? We must make the effort. We must, in the form of surrendering, and then the grace will come from God and Guru. So we must make the effort in sadhana bhakti, then Bhav Bhakti will be reached, that stage will be reached, and then Prema Bhakti and beyond. Boliye Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki, Jagat Guruttam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu ki, Boliye Bhakti Mahadevi ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. There will be kirtan.